I found the GPS tracker by accident. It was sewn into the lining of the designer purse my mother gave me for my birthday. Small, black, transmitting my location 24/7. I was furious. I'm 26 years old, a grown woman, and my parents were tracking me like a criminal. I ripped it out, cut it from the lining with scissors, threw it in my kitchen trash. 10 minutes later, someone was pounding on my apartment door. I opened it to find both my parents standing there, breathing hard, like they'd run up 5 flights of stairs. "Where is it?" my mother demanded. "Where's the tracker?" "How did you get here so fast? You live 30 minutes away." "We were nearby. We're always nearby. Now, where is it?" I threw it away. "I'm 26 years old. You can't track me like a child." My father pushed past me into my apartment. "You don't understand. That tracker isn't about control. It's about keeping you alive." What they told me next would explain everything. Why they'd been watching me my whole life. Why they'd moved cities 5 times. Why they'd never let me out of their sight. Stay with me, because this story is about discovering you've been in witness protection your entire life and never knew it. Before we continue, if you've ever discovered your parents were keeping a massive secret, hit that subscribe button right now. Your support means everything to me. And comment below, have you ever found out your family was hiding your true identity? Let's talk about it. Now back to my story. My name is Claire Matthews. At least that's what I've been told my entire life. I'm 26 years old. I work as a graphic designer in Denver, Colorado. I've lived here for 2 years, finally independent from my overprotective parents. Growing up, my parents were always intense about safety, strict curfews, constant check-ins, rules about where I could go and who I could see. I thought they were just helicopter parents, overprotective to an extreme. But last week, I discovered the truth. My mother had given me a beautiful leather purse for my 26th birthday 3 months ago. Designer brand, expensive. She said it was a special gift. "Take care of it," she'd said. "Keep it with you always." I loved that purse, used it every day, carried it everywhere. Last Tuesday, the zipper broke. I was frustrated because the purse was expensive and should have lasted longer. I decided to take it to a leather repair shop. But first, I wanted to see if I could fix the lining that was coming loose near the bottom. I turned the purse inside out, examining the stitching. That's when I felt it. Something hard sewn into the lining. I cut the stitching carefully and pulled out a small black device, about the size of a matchbox, with a tiny antenna. I turned it over in my hands, confused. Then I saw the label, GPS tracking device, Model TX400. My blood ran cold. My mother had sewn a GPS tracker into my purse. She'd been tracking my every movement for 3 months. I immediately grabbed my laptop and searched for the device model. It was a high-end tracker, real-time location, geofencing capabilities, battery life of 6 months, professional grade, not something you buy casually at a store. I felt violated, betrayed. I'm 26 years old. I live alone. I'm financially independent. And my mother had been secretly tracking me? I called my best friend Jordan. "You're not going to believe what I just found." "What?" "My mom put a GPS tracker in the purse she gave me. She's been tracking me for 3 months." "That's insane. Are you sure?" "I'm holding it in my hand. It's definitely a GPS tracker." "What are you going to do?" "I'm throwing it away, and then I'm calling her and telling her to never do this again." "Be careful, Claire. That's really weird behavior, even for overprotective parents." I hung up and stared at the tracker. Part of me wanted to confront my parents immediately. Part of me wanted to just throw it away and pretend I never found it. I decided on the latter. I cut the device out completely, walked to my kitchen, and threw it in the trash. There. No more tracking, no more surveillance. I felt relieved, free. That feeling lasted exactly 10 minutes. I was making coffee when someone started pounding on my apartment door. Not knocking, pounding, like the building was on fire. "Claire, open the door, now!" It was my mother's voice, panicked, desperate. I ran to the door and opened it. Both my parents stood there. My mother was pale, shaking. My father looked terrified. "Where is it?" my mother demanded, pushing past me into my apartment. "Where's what?" The tracker! Where's the GPS tracker? My father came in behind her, closing and locking the door. Claire, this is serious. Where is the device? How did you know I found it? Because it went offline. The signal disappeared. Where is it? I threw it in the trash. I'm 26 years old. You can't track me like a child. My mother ran to the kitchen and started digging through my trash. She found the tracker, held it up like a precious artifact. Oh, thank God. It's just the device, not her. Mom, what the hell is going on? How did you get here so fast? You live in Boulder. That's 30 minutes away. My parents looked at each other. That look. The one I'd seen 1,000 times when they were keeping secrets. We weren't in Boulder, my father said quietly. We were 3 blocks away. We're always 3 blocks away. What? We have an apartment, here in Denver. We've had it since you moved here 2 years ago. We monitor you from there. I felt like the floor was dropping out from under me. You've been living 3 blocks from me for 2 years? Without telling me? We had to, my mother said, to keep you safe. Safe from what? I'm a graphic designer. I have a boring, normal life. What could I possibly need protection from? My parents sat down on my couch. They looked exhausted, defeated. Sit down, Claire, my father said. We need to tell you something. Something we should have told you years ago. What? You're in witness protection. You have been your entire life. I stared at them. That's not funny. It's not a joke, my mother said. Your real name isn't Claire Matthews. It's Charlotte Reeves. You're in WITSEC. Have been since you were 2 years old. I felt dizzy. This is insane. You're making this up. We're not, my father said. And the reason we track you, the reason we're always nearby, is because there are people looking for you. People who want to hurt you. And if they find you, they'll kill you. I sat down heavily on a chair. Explain. Everything. From the beginning. My father took a deep breath. Your biological parents were Marcus and Elena Reeves. They were involved with a criminal organization. Drugs, weapons, money laundering, very dangerous people. When you were 2 years old, your father decided to testify against the organization, to bring them down. He made a deal with the FBI. He'd give them everything, names, locations, evidence, in exchange for protection for his family. He testified? I whispered. Yes, his testimony put away 23 people, including the organization's leader, Viktor Volkov. They all went to prison. But Volkov swore revenge. He said he'd kill Marcus and everyone he loved. What happened to my biological parents? My mother's eyes filled with tears. They were killed 6 months after the trial. Someone got to them despite the protection. We still don't know how. And me? You were in foster care temporarily when they died. The FBI determined you were still in danger. Volkov had put a bounty on you. $1 million for your location. They needed to hide you permanently. That's when we came in, my father said. We're not your biological parents, Claire. We're U.S. Marshals. We were assigned to be your handlers, to raise you and keep you safe. I couldn't breathe. You're not my parents? Not biologically, my mother said gently, but we raised you, loved you, protected you. In every way that matters, we are your parents. But you lied to me for 24 years. To keep you alive, my father said. If you'd known the truth, you might have tried to contact your biological family, or done something that drew attention. We couldn't risk that. What about my biological parents? Do I have other family? Your biological mother had a sister. She's been looking for you. She doesn't want to hurt you. She wants to find you because you're family. But if she finds you, others will find you too. Anyone searching for you leaves a trail. And Volkov? My parents exchanged another look. He was released from prison 2 months ago, my father said quietly. Early release for good behavior. He's 62 years old now, but the bounty still stands. And we have intelligence that he's activated his network to find you. That's why we increased monitoring, my mother added. That's why we've been so close. Since his release, the threat level has gone from medium to critical. I sat there processing. Everything I knew about myself was a lie. My name, my parents, my history, everything. "Do you have proof?" I asked. "Of any of this?" My father pulled out his phone, showed me a badge. U.S. Marshal Service. His real name, Deputy Marshal Thomas Brennan. My mother showed me hers, Deputy Marshal Sarah Brennan. Our assignment was to become your parents, to create a new identity for you, to raise you until you were old enough to decide whether you wanted to stay in protection or leave. "Why didn't you tell me when I turned 18? "Because the threat hadn't diminished, and we'd come to love you. You weren't just an assignment anymore. You were our daughter. We couldn't bear to tell you the truth and risk losing you." I spent the next 3 days in my apartment, doors locked, trying to process everything. My parents, or handlers, or whatever they were, stayed in their apartment 3 blocks away, but they checked in constantly. "Are you okay? Do you need anything? Please don't do anything rash." I felt like my entire identity had shattered. Who was I? Claire Matthews, the graphic designer from Denver? Or Charlotte Reeves, the daughter of dead criminals? I started researching, searched for Marcus and Elena Reeves, found news articles from 24 years ago. Witness testifies against criminal organization. 23 arrested in major drug bust. Protected witness and wife found dead. There were photos. A man who looked like me, same eyes, same nose. Marcus Reeves, my biological father. A woman with my smile. Elena Reeves, my biological mother, and a toddler in one photo, blurry, being carried by a social worker. That was me, Charlotte. I found more articles about Viktor Volkov, a powerful, ruthless man, cold eyes. Even in his mugshot, he looked dangerous. He'd been sentenced to 25 years, served 23, released 2 months ago. I searched for recent information about him. Nothing. He disappeared after release. No known address, no social media, nothing. That scared me more than anything. A man with $1 million bounty on me, and I had no idea where he was. I called Thomas and Sarah. I couldn't think of them as mom and dad anymore. "I need to see all the files, everything about my case. If I'm in danger, I deserve to know everything." They came over with a thick folder, sat with me while I read through it. Reports from my biological parents' case. Photos of crime scenes, transcripts of testimony, information about the protection program, the fake birth certificate created for Claire Matthews, the backstory invented for me. My parents had supposedly met in college. I was born in a hospital in Montana. We'd moved a lot because my dad's job required it. All lies, carefully constructed lies to protect me. "We've moved you 6 times, Sarah explained. Every time we got intelligence that someone was getting close. Kansas, Ohio, Nevada, Arizona, Montana, now Colorado." 6 times? How many more times will we have to move? "We don't know. It depends on how long Volkov stays active. If he dies or loses interest, you might be safe. And if he doesn't? Then we keep moving, keep hiding, keep protecting you." "For how long?" "As long as it takes." I looked at them. "Why did you do this? Why give up your lives to protect me?" Thomas spoke quietly. "When they assigned us to you, you were 2 years old, traumatized, scared. You'd just lost your parents. You barely spoke, just cried and cried. We were supposed to be your temporary guardians, just until they found a permanent placement. But after a few weeks, we couldn't imagine giving you to someone else." Sarah took my hand. "You were ours. You needed us. And somewhere along the way, we needed you too. This stopped being an assignment and became our life. We requested permanent placement. The marshals approved it, and we've been your parents ever since. Not biologically, but in every other way." 2 days later, something happened that changed everything. I was at work when Thomas called. "Don't go home. Meet us at the safe house, now." "What's wrong?" "Someone was at your apartment. Signs of attempted entry. We're moving you, today." Moving me where? We'll explain when you get here. Don't tell anyone where you're going. Leave your phone. Take nothing that can be tracked. My hands were shaking. This is really happening. Yes, and we need to move fast. I told my boss I had a family emergency, left my phone in my desk drawer, walked out of the building and got into a car Thomas had waiting. We drove for 20 minutes to a house in a suburban neighborhood. Inside were Sarah and 2 other U.S. Marshals I didn't recognize. "What happened?" I asked. "Someone picked your apartment lock this morning," one of the marshals said. "Building security cameras caught them. We ran facial recognition. It's one of Volkov's associates. He found you." They showed me the security footage, a man in his 40s, methodically picking my lock, looking around before entering. "He was in your apartment for 12 minutes, searching. He left when a neighbor walked by." "What was he looking for?" "You. Or information about you. We don't know, but the fact that he found your apartment means your location is compromised." "We're relocating you," Sarah said. "New city, new identity, new everything." "But I have a job, a life, friends." "You'll have to leave all of it behind," Thomas said gently. "I know it's hard, but it's the only way to keep you safe." "Where am I going?" "Seattle. We have a new identity prepared. New name, new backstory. You'll start over." Again. I wanted to cry, to scream, to refuse, but I saw the fear in Thomas and Sarah's faces. They were terrified for me. "When do we leave?" "Tomorrow morning. We'll drive. Take back roads. Make sure we're not followed." That night, I stayed in the safe house. Couldn't sleep. Just lay there thinking about everything I was losing. My apartment, my job, my friends, my life as Claire Matthews, all because of something my biological father did 24 years ago. Around 2 a.m., Sarah knocked on my door. "Can I come in?" "Yeah." She sat on the edge of the bed. "I know this is hard. I know you're angry." "I'm not angry. I'm just tired. Tired of running. Tired of hiding. When does it end?" "I don't know, but I promise we'll keep you safe, no matter what. Can I ask you something? Anything. Do you regret it? Taking this assignment? Giving up your real life to protect me?" Sarah was quiet for a moment. "Thomas and I couldn't have children. We'd tried for years. When they offered us this assignment to raise you and protect you, it felt like fate, like we were meant to be your parents. So no, I don't regret it. You gave us purpose. You gave us a family. Even if it was built on lies, the love was real." We left for Seattle the next morning, drove for 18 hours with multiple stops to check for surveillance. My new identity was waiting in Seattle. Dana Walsh, age 26, born in Portland. No criminal history, no connections to anyone. They'd set up an apartment, a new job interview at a marketing firm, everything I needed to start over. "This is your 7th identity," Thomas said as we drove. "Hopefully it's the last." "What happens to Claire Matthews?" "She disappears. We'll notify your employer that you had to relocate suddenly. Your apartment lease will be terminated. Your bank accounts will be closed and transferred under your new name." "What about my friends?" "You can't contact them. Any connection to your past is dangerous." I thought about Jordan, my best friend. I couldn't even say goodbye. This is really my life? Always running? Always hiding? Only until Volkov dies or gives up. He's 62. He can't hunt forever. But his organization can. Thomas didn't answer, because we both knew the truth. This might never end. We arrived in Seattle 3 days later. My new apartment was small but nice. View of the water, fresh paint. "Start your new life," Sarah said. "Make new friends, build a new career. Just be careful, always be aware, and always keep the tracker." She handed me a new purse. Designer, expensive, just like before. "The GPS is sewn into the lining. Don't remove it, please." I took the purse. "I won't. I understand now. And if anything feels wrong, anything at all, you call us immediately. We're 15 minutes away, always. You're moving here too?" "We go where you go. That's the deal." It's been 3 months since I became Dana Walsh. I got the marketing job, made a few friends, started rebuilding my life for the 7th time. I keep the purse with me always. Let them track me, because I know now they're not trying to control me. They're trying to keep me alive. Thomas and Sarah visit once a week. We have dinner, talk about normal things. They're still my parents. Even if the relationship started as an assignment, last week I got a letter, hand-delivered to my apartment building. No return address. Inside was a single sentence. I know who you are. I called Thomas immediately. They came over, called the FBI, analyzed the letter. It's probably nothing, Thomas said. Just someone trying to scare you. But I saw the fear in his eyes, because we both knew. This might be Volkov, or his organization, or my biological aunt still searching. Someone knows I'm in Seattle, which means soon we'll move again. New city, new identity, new everything. I'm Claire Matthews, or Charlotte Reeves, or Dana Walsh, or whoever they tell me to be next. I'm 26 years old. I've lived 7 different lives. I have parents who aren't really my parents, but love me anyway. And somewhere out there, dangerous people are hunting me for crimes my biological father committed before I could even remember him. This is my life, always running, always hiding, always looking over my shoulder. My parents put a GPS tracker in my purse. I used to hate them for it. Now I understand. It's not about control, it's about survival. And I'll carry that tracker for the rest of my life, however long that is. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support truly means the world to me. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. I love reading every single one of them. Each comment inspires me to keep creating stories for you. See you next time.